Now normally, in our how to quickly paint guides, we skip over the basing step, leaving the scheme and method entirely up to your army's own theme. However, as basing is also a step that can be achieved both quickly and effectively, it's time to show you how we go about basing the miniatures that we use in our guides. Some basing methods require you to add them to the base before you start painting, and these are primed and painted along with the rest of the model. However, our miniature here has already been painted and is attached to just a plain base. The solution here is to use a textured paint, like this dark earth texture from Vallejo. This is a brown textured paste that can be applied straight over the top of a blank base like ours here. Use an older brush to spoon out and spread over the textured paint, and don't worry about getting a smooth and even coverage. Some surface distortion will only add to the base's realism. Also, try not to paint over the model at this stage either. However, if you do accidentally overspill just a little bit, take a clean and slightly wet brush and carefully wash the texture and paint away. Once the whole base has been covered and left to dry for about an hour or so, longer if your application is heavier, you are left with an excellent starting texture and colour without the need for glues, sand or paints. Additionally, this texture is available in a range of different colours that you can use depending on your own basing scheme. Once the base is dried, we want to add a little extra definition. The first step in this is to apply a wash. Now Agrax Earthshade is ideal for this, but I first like to wet the whole base with some water before I apply the wash over the top. You don't need much water here, but by having a damp surface, the wash, when you come to apply it, will spread out evenly across the surface, which makes it easier to get around all those small textured items. Allow this first layer to dry and then repeat the process. The wash will darken down the recesses and help to create stronger definition and detail. Next up, I'll be using some dry brushing techniques, something you'll already be familiar with if you've seen our previous videos. But if you're not, then start off by dipping your brush into some Steel Legion Drab before wiping away any excess onto a tissue or a piece of paper. Now that only a small amount of paint remains in the bristles, begin dragging the brush over the texture, and you'll find that the paint begins to accumulate only onto the raised details, further helping to create contrast and definition. Using the even lighter paint of Ushabti Bone, you can use the same dry brushing technique to pick out just the bumps and the more raised areas on the base. By having some variation in shades here, we help to give us a much more realistic appearance of dark sand or soil. As the base stands currently, we are pretty much done. And if you're planning on varnishing your model, then this is the time to do so, as it will protect both your base and your miniature. Once you varnish though, you can grab yourself some foliage. Little grass tufts like these ones from the Army Painter are perfect for quickly adding a little extra detail. Simply pluck one of the tufts from the sheet, apply a little glue, super glue or PVA works here, and place the tuft into place. And once that's dried, you have a finished base. It's nothing too fancy, but it will really help to round out your paint job and can be applied quickly and easily. Whilst this guide focuses on just a 40k miniature, due to how generic brown earth is, you could apply the same techniques used here to a whole host of other gaming systems as well. If you enjoyed this guide to getting your miniatures painted and ready for the gaming table in as little time as possible, then please do let us know in the comments below and check out our previous videos for more inspiration. You can find this kit and all the paints and materials used in this video on the Firestorm Games web store for at least 10% off the RRP, and you can find a link to the site in the description below. And so we just want to finish off by saying a big thank you for watching this video, and we hope to see you again on Firestorm Games.